Conventionally attractive humans. I'm RidersDX, and yeah, I think you all know what I'm talking about here. That SpongeBob game that was hideously teased at last year's THQ Nordic Showcase has finally been unveiled to us as SpongeBob SquarePants Tide of the Titans, and it is all centered around the showdown between King Neptune and the Flying Dutchman, and the result is pretty chaotic looking, to say the least. It feels like it's been too long since we've had like a really exciting SpongeBob game to talk about, and now we have the direct successor to Cosmic Shake, and it honestly looks really good. I don't really have any major concerns here. There's a lot to get really excited about with this game. And so I reacted to it on stream earlier today with Dave Ace and Sheriff the Great, and yeah, I feel like this game looks like a very logical and well done next step up from Cosmic Shake, because I feel like with Cosmic Shake, Purple Lamp had something to prove, which was the fact that, okay, we just made this remake of a cult classic and it was somewhat decent. So can we actually take what we learned and make a good game from that? And I firmly believe that Cosmic Shake did a good job. Like, it really did. Maybe there were some things here and there that could have been better about that game, but I mean, that's like any game, honestly. Any game can always have something to improve on, and for their first outing as the primary developer of a game that is not a remake, I think they did a really solid job. I was really happy with what they did. So now we come to Tide of the Titans, and Purple Lamp don't really need to prove that anymore. Like, people know that they'll make a solid game. Can they make an amazing game? Record-shattering game? Like, that remains to be seen. However, Tide of the Titans looks to take exactly what Cosmic Shake did and just make it better and bigger. Everything about this game just looks like it's more Cosmic Shake, but also has some weird surprises thrown in there. I think the big thing that I really take away from watching that trailer is the fact that you could switch between SpongeBob and Patrick on the dime. So first of all, you can play as both SpongeBob and Patrick in this game. So we're so close. We're honestly so close. Like, come on, just throw in Sandy. We are so close. But the fact that you can play as both SpongeBob and Patrick on a dime is really cool. Like, they showcase them switching mid-air multiple times in that trailer. And that's going to make for an interesting dynamic in this game compared to other SpongeBob platformers. Also, you do see a mix of like areas that you're familiar with, but also like a lot of new areas too that aren't that familiar to me. Later on, I'm going to watch this video closely, scour the internet, and I'm gonna make that typical everything you need to know video about this game, because there's a lot of information that I'm just not completely clear on at the moment, and it's a lot, okay? It's a lot to digest, you know? I cannot simply just go to the buffet and just stuff myself until my stomach explodes, you know? I'm not like Squidward where I could have my thighs expand beyond belief and then explode and then just get put back together in an ambulance. No, I need to be careful. So there's a lot to digest here, and I just am simply not at all like fully familiar with everything that's happened yet so far. But from my first initial impressions, this game looks very solid. It looks really good. There's a mix of old and new environments, and I think the conflict between King Neptune and the Flying Dutchman is a very interesting and epic angle to take this game with, and thus it looks very solid. I'm really excited about this, and I am just looking forward to seeing what else we're going to get from this game, because I mean, yes, it's got like all the typical like hallmarks of a SpongeBob platformers, Cosmic Shake specifically. Like, everything that was in Cosmic Shake mechanically, I feel like is in here, you know? But there's also new things like Patrick being playable, for instance. He's got a few different moves, like burrowing in the ground, for instance. That's something I've never seen before. There's a lot of ass being shown in this game, aka the SpongeBob and Patrick natural costumes. There's a lot of good things going on over here, and it just seems like the game is giving more of what Cosmic Shake gave and just further making that a better game from here on out. And I don't know, I just think it's so amazing that Purple Lamp still gets to do this. They get to still make SpongeBob SpongeBob games and still get to improve upon their product each and every time. And I'm just so happy to see them at the helm again, because it's clear that they love SpongeBob and that they don't want to stop making SpongeBob games anytime soon. And I feel like there's been a lot of pressure lately to kind of like, you know, explore something new, do something different for like SpongeBob games, because okay, we had Rehydrated and then we got Cosmic Shake. Like what comes after that? And my honest to God opinion about this is that it looks a lot like it's just more Cosmic Shake with some bells and whistles thrown in it. And while that might be a little disappointing to some people that want like something really crazy and new, I think it's nice that Purple Lamp is kind of like testing the waters with some mechanics and such, while also sticking closely to what people love about SpongeBob games, which is like the 3D platforming of it all. You know, solid 3D platform mechanics all tied together with a great atmosphere inspired directly by the show. And honestly, as a big SpongeBob fan, I'm really psyched to dive back into it, and everything about this looks really good. I will say the one thing that's really surprised me so far about this game is the fact that it is only on current generation consoles, which I was not expecting at all, because SpongeBob traditionally is one of those franchises that tries to expand its reach as much as possible, and a lot of fans of SpongeBob games are not going to have like the brand new consoles that just came out. They're going to be relying on the previous generation. So I was very shocked to see that this game would only be coming out on current generation costs. Why do I keep saying costumes? This game would only be coming out on current generation consoles, PC as an exception. And while I can see why that's disappointing, like I already saw a lot of like discourse in like my live chat earlier today about the fact that this was only coming on current consoles. While I can see why people would be really upset about that, especially people that can't afford those consoles right now, on the bright side, it means that Purple Lamp does not have to like shoulder the burden of downgrading the game that they made to fit on previous hardware, and that's going to make development seem so much smoother overall, and it's only going to benefit this game from a quality perspective. Still, I feel like they should have at least put it on like the PS4 and like the Xbox One. I can understand skipping the Switch if I'm being realistic here, because the Switch is significantly lower power than these consoles, and that is just a hard downgrade to make. But the fact that it's only on current generation consoles overall is shocking to me, and I do feel for those people that can't afford it. And I don't know, hopefully the console prices go down, because you know the current generation, the consoles are going to be expensive for a while, but eventually the prices will go down. Like there will be deals eventually that will bring them down. So hopefully that happens this year. If not, then I mean, it is what it is kind of situation, you know. This game is coming to current generation consoles. They're not doing a previous generation, and that's that. There also seems to be promise for like more DLC content in this game, you know, because there is a title pass that comes with some pre-orders if you pre-order like the more expensive edition. So, you know, now they're promising like actual DLC as well, which is a big change from Cosmic Shake, because I don't think Cosmic Shake really had any significant DLC. Neither did Bath Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. So there seems to be plans to make sure that this game like has some life after its release, which is really cool to see, especially because this game is kind of low-key being used as a tie-in to the movie, even though from what it looks like, it's not an actual adaptation of the movie. It does involve the Flying Dutchman as a primary villain nonetheless, so it is still like its own separate thing. But it seems like they're trying to utilize the rest of the SpongeBob franchise to help to promote this game. And oh my god, it's such a random thought that I'm having just now, but David Hasselhoff doing that song for the trailer, like chef's kiss. Seriously, like first of all, great song, like it sounds really good. I low-key want to learn it and sing it for you all, but also like David Hasselhoff, like just such a nostalgic person to come and do this for. It's just like I was completely gagged when I saw David Hasselhoff on my TV screen. Like what is going on kind of like vibes, you know? So man, there's just a lot of things that like from what I could tell, this game has a lot of good things going for it, and I can't wait to actually sit down and script out my video to talk about everything we know about this game so far, because there's a lot to uncover here and I just don't even know where to start. But man, SpongeBob video games, they're back, and I'm so glad they're back, and I really am just excited to see what Purple Lamp is cooking up this time, because I trust them. I know that they're going to work their hardest on whatever's coming out, and this game looks very solid. I'm very excited to see what comes of it. So those are just my initial thoughts on what I've seen so far. I think that this game is only coming out in like 3 months. This game is coming out in 3 months, so it's gonna be with us before we know it. It is pretty much done at this point. So we will definitely be learning a lot more about this game in the coming days or weeks and such, and I'm excited. I'm so excited to be back here. I know it's been a while since I've been on YouTube like fully as like a regular like poster. I haven't uploaded regularly for like months. If y'all saw my previous update video, I was busy like being a part of a local production of Shrek the Musical. That is officially over now, and I'm excited to get back into the swing of things and try to like be a little bit more consistent here, and also talk about some future projects I have going on aside from like talking about the newest like SpongeBob games or newest Sonic games or whatever else. So lots of fun things coming in the future, and you will just have to stay tuned because I'm not gonna tell you. You have to come here and learn from my mouth what's going on. So I'm not going to seek you out. But all right, y'all, let me know your thoughts about this new game in the comment section below. What are you most excited about? What are you most concerned about? And stay tuned because I got more content about SpongeBob Tide of Titans coming up in the future. But all right, this is Riders, riding out.